If you want to understand Aikido, you must first study its spirit. Nishio Sensei said, if there's still conflict in your own mind at the moment of contact, then it isn't Aikido. So the real practice of Aikido is the process of resolving the conflicts and egoic motives within ourselves. The better you understand Aikido, the less it has to do with the opponent in front of you, and the more it has to do with you. People who approach Aikido with the idea of competing, or even of becoming better than other people in some way, will never really understand the real spirit of Aikido. Even as they get better and better at bending people's joints or throwing them to the ground, they'll only get further and further away from ever really understanding Aikido in their practice or in their daily life. In Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, Suzuki talks about mistakes in practice. He says that it's when your practice is rather greedy that you become discouraged with it. So you should be grateful that you have a sign or a warning signal to show you the weak point in your practice. He goes on to say, there are several poor ways of practice which you should understand. Usually when you practice Zazen, you become very idealistic, and you set up an ideal or goal which you strive to attain and fulfill. But as I have often said, this is absurd. When you are idealistic, you have some gaining idea within yourself. By the time you attain your ideal or goal, your gaining ideal will create another ideal. So as long as your practice is based on a gaining idea, and you practice Zazen in an idealistic way, you'll have no time actually to attain your ideal. Moreover, you will be sacrificing the meat of your practice. Because your attainment is always ahead, you'll always be sacrificing yourself now for some ideal in the future. You end up with nothing. This is absurd. It is not adequate practice at all. But even worse than this idealistic attitude is to practice Zazen in competition with someone else. This is a poor, shabby kind of practice. Suzuki also says that another mistake will be to practice for the sake of the joy you find in it. Actually, when your practice is involved in a feeling of joy, it is not in very good shape either. Of course, this is not poor practice, but compared to the true practice, it is not so good. Practice is classified in 4 ways. The best way is just to do it without having any joy for it, not even spiritual joy. This way is just to do it, forgetting your physical and mental feeling, forgetting all about yourself in practice. This is the 4th stage, the highest stage. The stage below that is just to have physical joy in your practice. At this stage, you find some pleasure in practice, and you will practice because of the pleasure you find in it. In the 2nd stage, below that, you find that you both have mental and physical joy, a good feeling. But these 2 middle stages are stages in which you practice Zazen because you feel good in your practice. And the lowest stage, the 1st stage, is when you have no thinking and no curiosity in your practice. These 4 stages also apply to our practice. Often when people begin Aikido, they have reasons for starting. But in time, those reasons have to give way to simply practicing for the sake of practice. To begin our study of Aihanmi Katatedori Iriminage, we'll watch Nishio Sensei. He'll do 2 versions. The first version here is the inside version where he moves his hand inside the opponent's arm. And the second version where he moves his hand to the outside of the opponent's arm. We'll begin our study with the inside version. So I'm offering my right hand and stepping my left foot to the left. Offer your hand palm up and then draw your palm down. This time we'll step and turn tenkan. Then we'll take our 3rd step to the left and our 4th step forward. So it's the same 4-step pattern we've been using. Step to the left, tenkan, step to the left again, and then step forward to finish. Offer your right hand and step to the left. Then draw your foot together as you draw your palm down. Continue your tenkan, step to the left, and then forward with your right to finish. From the side, step to the left as we offer our right hand, tenkan, step to the left, together and forward. This is our basic 4-step footwork pattern. Next, we'll study the application of the bokken to this Iriminage movement. Since we're doing the inside movement, we'll offer our hand palm up, and the sword will move from the left. Notice again, the empty-handed movement moves from the left, turns, draws the opponent through as we step to the side, and then step forward to finish. So we'll step to the left and offer our sword with the palm up. Bring the sword over your head, tenkan, advance to the left, and step forward with the right to finish. Step to the left with the palm up, sword coming from the left side. So again, bringing the sword from the left side with your palm up, turn it over your head, tenkan, cover the opponent's sword, advance, and step forward to finish. Notice the 4-step movement. Irimi, tenkan, stepping to the side, shikodachi, and zenkutsudachi, the final forward step. Now we'll do it with a full turn. Next, we'll do it with an uppercut. It's important to always move with a feeling that you're staying inside of the arc of your sword movement. Now we'll practice the soto waza, or outside movement. Notice we present our hand giving it from the right side and moving toward the left, compared to the previous technique where we moved from the left to the right. So moving our hand from right to left, you continue on exactly the same way that we did before when we did the uchi waza. So present the hand, cutting from right to left, turning, stepping to the side, and then forward for the finish. It's important when you're doing the empty-handed technique to kind of have the feeling that you're holding an invisible sword. Here I'm showing some of the atemi waza as well, the strike underneath the arm, the strike to the side of the head. Now we'll present the ken movement. Again, we're moving the sword from the right to the left, cutting up as we step to the left, Irimi. Enter, turn, advance to the side, step forward for the finish. Now we'll do the same technique with the uppercut. Now we'll practice the Uchiwaza version of the Jo movement. We'll start with the Jo on our left side and step to the left, bringing the Jo up over our head, and then continue in the same way that we did with the sword. Now we'll practice the same movement with a big turn. This time we'll practice the Soto Waza version, moving from the right to the left. So holding the jo in our right hand, we'll circle clockwise, bringing the jo over our head, and then continue on exactly the same way that we did with the Uchi Waza. Hold the jo in your right hand, circle clockwise, bringing the jo over your head, and continue the same way. Now we'll practice the same movement with a bigger turn. Now we'll do the same Soto Waza technique with the uppercut. Turn the jo clockwise over your head, tenkan, bring the jo over your head again, and finish with a downward strike. Step to the left, circling the jo clockwise. Bring the jo over your head, strike to the side, bring the jo over your head again, and finish with a downward strike. Let's now practice the Aiki Toho Iai, or iaido, application of this Aihanmi Iriminage technique. If you don't have a katana or an iaido, you can just practice with a bokken. I'm going to show a slightly different tying of the sageo here, one that Nishio Sensei actually used. First we'll do the Uchi Waza version. Step with your left foot, cut up, turn the sword, and turn again. The entire movement is pretty much identical to what we did before with the bokken. Step with your left foot, then your right, cutting up to the side, turn the sword, turn your body, and complete the movement. Note that each of these cuts are diagonal cuts. Step left, right, kiriage, kesagiri, and kesagiri. Now we'll do the Aihanmi Iriminage Soto waza. We cut straight across and back. This is called a kirikaishi, or returning cut. The footwork will be identical. Step with your left, then your right, cut across and back, turn, and then continue exactly as we did before. Now we'll do the sume form, which is from the set of 15 toho from Nishio Sensei. This form correlates to the Aihanmi and also the Shomenuchi Iriminage Soto waza technique. The opening cut is to the opponent's wrist or forearm, depending on whether or not they've drawn their sword. This form uses the chiburi, which is akin to the chiburi from the Katori Shinto-ryu, where you flip the sword to shake off the blood before resheathing it. Let's look at the footwork. Step with your left, step to the right, and bring your feet together in a little V. Then step back across the line, turning, advance to the left slightly as you bring the sword up, and then cut down for the finishing cut. Step back for Seigan, and then resheath the sword, Noto. Advance with your left foot, step to the right, bring your heels together and draw the sword, cutting to the forearm, clockwise circle, bring the sword over onto your forearm, edge up, then turn the sword, cutting up, advance your right foot, and cut down to the opponent's forearm. After the vertical cut, don't bring the sword to the side of your head this way. Instead, push your left hand straight up in front of your forehead. Bring it straight up in front of your head. Bring it to the side of your face this way, leaves you unprotected. Push the left hand straight up in front of your forehead and advance your right foot forward. Use the part of the sword that's close to the tsuba to keep your head covered. Let's finish our practice with some kokyuho. You can do this either in seiza or standing. Bring your palms together and inhale. Turn your palms down. Exhale. Make your breathing match the movement of your hands. Hands together, inhale. Hold your breath slightly, then exhale slowly. Hold your breath in the exhale position just for a moment. Inhale, hold, exhale. And hold. One more time. Bring your hands together. Inhale, hold, exhale. And hold. Now bring your hands out to the side. Inhale and bring your hands down as you exhale. Holding our breath slightly at the end. Inhale, hold, exhale slowly, matching your exhale with your hand movement. Hold your breath out at the end. Inhale, hold it, and exhale. One more time. Inhale, hold, and exhale. And hold your breath out. Now bring your hands together, index finger pointing straight up. Inhale, hold it, exhale slowly, coming back down. Hold your breath out, hold it out, hold, and inhale. Hold, exhale, slowly letting your breath out. And then at the end, we're going to hold our breath out, hold it out, and inhale. Hold it and exhale. Hold, exhale, slowly letting your breath out. And then at the end, we're going to hold our breath out, hold it out, then breathe naturally. Mokuso. Place your left hand on top of your right, with your thumbs lightly touching. Shomen nire. Domo arigatou gozaimashita. We'll see you next time.